As a pastor and author, you know more than anyone the importance of a finely tuned phrase or sentence and the impact that it can have on your audience. But what about the average person? Why does the way we speak and the words we use matter?
I think it matters more now than it ever has in the history of this country because our country is trying to have a conversation, a tough conversation about race, about injustice, about health, about disparities. And we've not been equipped with the language to address it. It's kind of like the elephant in the middle of the room that we never want to talk about. But then bringing it down to a personal level, communication can save a relationship between a mother and a daughter, between a father and a son, between a husband and a wife. The more articulate we are at being able to express our feelings, our emotions, and the more adept we are at being able to listen at other people who are expressing theirs, it increases the likelihood of success.
So, were you born just being able to articulate so beautifully, Bishop Jakes? Did speaking and preaching come naturally to you, or did you have to work at it?
You have to work at it. I think it's an ongoing process. I'm still working at it. You never quit working at it because language is liquid. It moves, it changes, it flows. What meant one thing in one setting meant something else in another. In the music world, a CD means something totally different from the banking world. A CD is totally different. So sometimes we have same terms, different meanings, and understanding what response the word elicits depends on the audience that you're talking to, and understanding that is very, very important.
Yeah, so true. Well, Jesus, of course, was a great communicator. What can we learn from his style of communication with others?
You know what is the most amazing thing about it? When you look through the Gospels, there are very few sermons that we hear from Jesus. What we hear more often is conversations. And to be conversant is very important. And Jesus talked to people that were not stereotypically people that a Jewish rabbi would talk to, like the woman at the well. He shared stories of him reaching across the line and holding conversations. And to be like Jesus is to have a life that is integrated with diverse streams of consciousness and to have conversations with people who may not always reflect your views or your background or your perspective. Will never grow as a people as long as we insist on being tribalistic and only hanging out with people who look like us, vote like us, and dress like us.
Wow, good word there. Well, Bishop, in Don't Drop the Mic, you give some great practical career advice for those who want to grow in or pursue public speaking. What do you say is the secret to connecting with your audience?
I think you have to study your audience as well as study your information so that you use the right metaphors and the right similes that resonate with the crowd that you're talking to. I think that's part of it. I think being authentic is being a part of it. Show up as yourself, be who you are, be congenial, be conversant. Be the kind of person that make people want to hang out with you. The personality matters. Presentation matters. Body language matters. Voice inflection, tone matters. We wouldn't have great speeches like the Gettysburg Address if they were delivered in a tweet or a Facebook image. An emoji. You can't. An emoji doesn't really express what you meant by your feeling and tone. And I think we have to get back to the labor of language and the artistry and pageantry of expressing the human soul.
I don't know if I can live without emojis now, though, Bishop. I mean, can I still communicate effectively and use an emoji at the end, like a smiley?
Yes, I think the emojis at the end are cute, but when the whole text is emojis, it's hard enough to understand what you meant by the words.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah, I agree.
so
Yeah, I don't like it when I just get emoji texts. Okay. All right, Bishop, you write that the ultimate purpose of being a great communicator is so we can effectively share the hope of Jesus Christ with others. What are some simple and practical ways that we can do that?
I think if we present Christ correctly, Moses was forbidden from going into the promised land because he misrepresented God. He put his emotions into a situation that God was not frustrated. Moses was frustrated, and he smote the rock the second time and therefore was not allowed to go into the promised land. I think too many times we put our feelings into our message, and we confuse culture with Christianity, and we're presenting culture and not Christ. And so to be able to have a Christ that is accessible for all people and not some people is very, very important. And so the book started out to be about preaching, about speaking. But as we went into the pandemic and as we went into the racial tensions, I realized my whole country has dysfunction in being able to communicate. And it reminded me of counseling a bad marriage, where we think peace is just silence. You can speak your truth and still be for unity. But unity doesn't mean that I have to be silent in order to be at peace with you.
So good. Some great advice. Bishop T.D. Jakes, thank you so much for your time and being on the show. We appreciate it, and God bless you.
God bless you. Take care.